Good day, everybody. Welcome to the session. I'm your host, Justin Crosley. Happy to be back in the studio. It's been a couple weeks, and we got a great show for you today. The boys from Movement Brewing Company out of Rancho Cordova are in studio with me. We're going to talk about their beer. We're going to drink their beer, and we're going to find out about this weird family dynamic they have. I'm still trying to figure out. We'll see if we can get to the bottom of that. We got all kinds of things in store for you. Thanks to our sponsor of this program, More Beer. You can go to morebeer.com. They do everything for home brewers and pro brewers. And as you know, they've been supporting this show since day zero. So we thank them for doing that. Go over to morebeer.com. Check them out. Or find them on YouTube. Watch their Free Beer Friday, where they're always giving away cool free shit, just like Chris Graham does when he comes on this show. So please thank our sponsor, More Beer. And to start the show, I am drinking a Movement California lager, which is a fine example of a light lager, a flavorful light lager, I would give
California rice lager.
California rice lager, is that what you guys call it?
Yeah.
All right, let me introduce the boys here, and we'll get right to it. We've got the brothers, right?
Brothers-in-law.
Brothers-in-law.
Yeah.
But you're all three brothers-in-law.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, fuck.
Technically,
This is going to get weird. Okay.
It's so
So how much time do you have on this?
We got time.
You need it.
So first off, one of the founders, the co-owner, we have Nick Kavanaugh.
That's me.
Welcome,
Yes,
Nick.
thank you. Excited to be here.
Really happy to have you here.
Thank you.
And then we have another brother-in-law and co-owner, Chris Shipley.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
sir.
Getting this right. And then Tommy Hamilton is here. He's the head brewer, also brother-in-law.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You hit everything perfectly.
Yeah, so far it's good.
So far we're then on the lineage. You're on.
Okay.
On point.
And then just in case I didn't say, it's Movement Brewing Company, folks. You can go to movementbrewingco.com and follow along. We're going to taste through their beers. You can look at the beers on there. There's a virtual tour of the brewery, which I thought was super cool.
Yeah.
I went and took the virtual tour. Really nice space. So go there. All right. So before we get then to the history of the brewery, which we will do, let's figure out this family thing. So who's married to who? What happened?
I think I'm the common thread.
You're the commentator.
Yeah,
You're the man in the middle.
Yeah, I'm in the middle.
You're the man in the middle.
Okay. So explain that to me.
My wife
Yeah.
and Chris's wife are sisters.
You guys married sisters.
We did.
Okay.
Yes.
Were you friends before you?
Not at all.
Okay, you
Yeah.
you
I was
became
married-
friends.
I
through-
was married in.
Okay,
basically.
So it's not like you guys grew up together dating
We're
sisters.
still not friends.
Okay. Okay. So
And
they're sisters. So you guys met after being married to the sisters.
I met him after I started dating my wife. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And Tommy
Yeah.
married my sister.
Okay. Got it. Wow.
Yeah.
So that's all not that weird. These things happen all the time. What's weird is that often that many brothers-in-law don't get along. Like you
Yeah.
don't all usually if there's that many brothers-in-law, like two of them might go hang out at the holiday dinner,
Sure.
and the other one nobody really likes because he's annoying.
We
Maybe
hate
that's
each
still
other.
Tommy. I don't know.
No, we all hate each other. We have a-
Okay.
Yeah. You're on the right path.
Okay. But you must. Okay. So y'all meet through marriage. Your brothers-in-law. How long ago would you say y'all met then, collectively?
Well, so I was like the newest almost.
Okay.
I've known Nick for about 11 years-ish now. I met Marcy.
Me,
and,
I'm more like an 8-ish year.
Okay. All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So quite a while.
Yeah. We're
Spit it
going
out,
back-
Tommy.
Sorry.
Tommy's very nervous.
Hey, that's
He's
all right.
so nervous.
Oh, one beer later, he'll be fine.
We don't
Yeah,
let
you'll
him out
see.
much.
But yeah, thanks.
Out of the brewery?
Yeah.
Right.
Trust me. But we're like SoCal, so like the way we look at it is like SoCal boys, NorCal boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I-
So
I-
you're this. You and Nick are the SoCal guys.
Yeah,
But Nick
okay.
has actually been up in Sacramento for a very
14,
long
15
time.
years now.
Okay.
Yeah, for
So-
work and stuff.
So then, how old's the brewery?
2 years.
Almost
2 years. Just over
Just
2.
hit 2.
Oh right. Oh, I thought you guys were around a little longer than that, even.
2.5. Yeah.
Okay. So
Not
then,
even 2.5.
how long ago did you three or you two? I don't know what the combo was. Start talking about doing a pro brewery.
Oh man, it goes back.
Does this
so
date back
long.
8 years? Like,
More than that.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
for me and him talking about it, it's been 8 years.
okay.
I mean, he's been wanting to do it much longer than I have.
Yeah. Okay.
He's been wanting to do it 10 plus probably.
Yeah.
So you were you all homebrewers too?
Yes.
Then okay.
Yeah, homebrewed for a long time. Thanks,
All
More Beer, for supplying a lot of my
Absolutely.
There we go.
a lot of my equipment. Yeah.
Love to hear it.
Selfless plug. Just
yeah.
thanks, more beer.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what we need.
And Tommy was in the winemaking business when I met him.
Yep.
And we kind of bonded over brewing. More got into craft beer, and then he got into home brewing, and then Chris fell in love with craft beer when he came in the family.
Yeah, I was
We
like
kind
an
of
Instagram
transferred.
guy where I did a bunch of trades on Instagram.
Oh, like you're that guy? You're like the
he
black
was-
market beer guy?
I'm like
100% that guy.
the straight up, the low down
100%.
guy,
Right.
Yeah,
That's
And
funny.
I dove in, like it went wild.
Okay.
7 packages a week,
What?
trading,
Just trading?
Oh, it went crazy.
We hooked him.
I still have.
We
like,
hooked him because when we met, you were a Coors Light guy.
Oh,
it was
100%.
just Coors Light.
I'm from the country.
so you
I'm
went-
He's
from
from
the
Yuba
country.
City, man.
Yeah.
You
So,
went
like,
0 to 60. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit.
I went full in. Just they hooked me.
What country? Where in the country?
Yuba City. So like.
Oh, I'll
Sutter,
give you. Yeah. That's the country.
Yeah, Sutter County. Let's go, Sutter County.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Wait, is that in the we're seceding from the country line? Yuba is, right? What's it called? What's the nation you guys are trying to build?
Jefferson.
Jefferson.
State of Jefferson.
Isn't that the state of
It's
Jefferson?
around there. Yeah, I guess.
It's close, right? Come on. I'm just checking.
We all have our life there, though.
Right. Okay.
Let's not throw anybody under
So
the
you're
bus.
not trying to secede yet or
Yeah.
anything. Okay. One of your cousins, maybe, but not
I'm
you.
cool.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's fair. But so you start showing up at holidays or something with these boys and drinking
they
craft
started
beer?
just dragging me along to all these different places,
Okay.
and it just went off.
Okay. And then you just
Fell
dove
in
in.
love. Yeah, it's like Coors Light's not the best beer on the planet. It's
Right.
still great. Still drink it.
What was the craft beer that really turned you?
It
know,
was.
I know.
You want to say it?
It was Easy Jack.
Easy Jack.
Firestone
Easy
Walker.
Jack.
Oh,
Firestone
that's a
Walker.
good one right there.
That was the one that got me
Yeah.
hardcore, and then I found the Russian River beers.
Okay.
Obviously, Blind Pig, into Pliny, into the Younger. You know, it's
It just went from there.
It just exploded.
Yeah. I did the same. Sierra Nevada Pale Ale was
Oh, dude.
I went for. I mean, listen, I was worse than you because I'm from the desert, which is worse than the country.
am I.
And I did natural light, like I was just whatever we
dude,
used
natty
natty
light,
light.
let's go.
Natty's all day, dude.
Yeah,
And I moved to the
bonfires.
Bay, and every barbecue I went to was Sierra Nevada Pale Ale or Sierra Nevada Porter.
Yeah.
And the first one I had, I hated it. But 7 barbecues later, when it's the only beer there, I loved it. And then I never went back. You just
Dude,
Yeah, I
never
mean, Yuba's not that far from Chico, so
Yeah, right.
I used to go to Chico
source.
all the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
I grew up on Sierra Nevada before I even knew it.
So good.
It's still my go-to.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Green Labels is.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, but then you get into the trading scene. You're like looking for whales and shit.
All of them.
You're that guy.
All of them. Like the expense that my wife went through.
Right.
She's like, no, this has to stop.
You're like the
It's
budget
almost-
really
Almost
changed.
cheaper just
I
starting
know what
a
I'll do.
brewery.
I'll open a brewery.
Right.
It's
I'd rather
almost
spend
cheaper.
money on opening just a brewery. It's stupid.
So that's why you wanted to open a brewery. It was just cheaper beer.
I just fell in love with craft beer.
Okay.
I mean, I fell right in love with it.
Okay.
I still am. It's
But Nick, you were into brewing. Like you were like super into home brewing, or are you more of an entrepreneur?
More of the entrepreneur. I did homebrew, but I wouldn't say I was good at it
Okay.
at all. I didn't. It was just a hobby that I would do every now and then. You know,
Okay.
once a month,
All right.
kind of thing.
And Tommy, you were in the wine biz.
Yeah, I'm from Murrieta, Temecula, like the desert.
wine and
Yeah,
beer.
yeah.
He was brewing too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I went to Davis for enology viticulture for like a brief moment, and when I was a cellar rat in Temecula, then I started homebrewing, and I had known Nick for a little bit, and met his sister and
Yeah,
whatever. And I'm
okay.
Like, and we had both talked about like, hey man, like one day like it'd be cool like open a thing. I'm like, I just met you, dude. Like, you're cool as hell, and like,
But yeah.
I'm glad you're a Dodger fan like myself. Sorry. Yeah.
Boo.
Ah, dude, you had to bring that up.
I
didn't
know,
you?
I know,
we don't
sorry.
agree
I know,
on that.
I know.
Yeah.
No one's perfect. I get it. But and one thing led to another. My to this day, I always joke with Nick. My best Christmas gift I ever got was like a stack of books on scaling up recipes, and like Sam Kelly owns like
Brewing up a business, or is that what it was called? I know
and,
that. It's a good book.
Lagunitas, and it was cool. I was like, Nick was like actually serious, and I didn't know that at the time. I was like, wait, you really want to do this, dude? He's like,
Right.
yes, I want to own a brewery one day. I was like, oh shit. Like,
Did you have the same commitment issues with his sister, or was it just with the beer?
I was already married at the time, thankfully.
okay.
So I felt like, I actually told Nick when I ended up leaving wine to go into brewing as my first assistant brewer, official assistant brewer position. He was the very first person I texted. I was like, hey man,
Got a beer gig.
I was like, don't judge me on my salary, but I'm going to send you this contract. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, dude, I got hired as a professional assistant brewer.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think I can do it. I don't want to move to Ventura at the time. Anyways,
What was the brewery?
Surf Brewing. It was
Don't know
Concrete
it.
Jungle. And then,
Okay.
So Ventura County, north of LA.
Yeah.
Anyways, he was the only person out of my brothers, my dad, my mom, and my wife, sister. And I was like, hey, we just had our I looked at her and I was like, this could be a big step in my career if it ends up panning out. And I remember her saying dude, you're not going to open a brewery one day. Well, I was like, well, knowing your brother, he's the most tenacious person I've ever met in my entire life.
So it could happen.
And I was like, I should probably just take the step. And the only person that really kind of gave me the bump, dude,
Do that.
get after it, was him.
Okay.
And
Because
was
I
like,
needed
all right,
you.
cool. Yeah.
It's purely
bad
selfish.
move, yes.
Yeah, he's like, I know,
Stupid move.
Yeah, he's like, I know, yeah, and initially, but he's like, dude, you're an idiot. But he's like, this could work out in our favor if we ever end up opening a brewery, which we have been talking about since I've known his sister. At that time, it was probably 3 or 4 years, and he's been always encouraging me to learn more and again going to Davis for fermentation science, all that stuff.
So how long did you end up at this assistant brewer's gig?
I was at Surf for about a year, and then I went to Island Brewing, which is up north in Carpinteria.
Okay.
Which is 30 minutes north of that.
Yeah.
In South Santa Barbara for about a year and a half.
Okay.
And then and I actually stopped brewing from there, and then
Okay.
got my master's degree and started teaching.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And
Because
then,
so it just, you always wanted this brewery, but the time just wasn't right?
it was a lot of stuff going on.
But 2 years ago was right?
Yeah.
It wasn't
yeah, during the pandemic.
signed,
right?
Yeah, I'm like,
We technically signed the lease in 19,
okay, right.
and then March is really when it happened.
Yeah, and then you're like,
COVID
oh,
stuff.
shit, okay.
So we didn't see that coming.
Right.
Yeah.
But you signed the lease. So
Yeah.
were
We were
you
locked in.
were you already building out?
Yeah, so we
By
signed the
March?
lease
Yeah.
in 19, got the keys January 1st, 2020, started
Okay.
construction in February, and then March, the world shut
April
down.
was really when it
What a
And they fly,
nightmare.
and they fly me up at June. I was like, I remember texting Nick and Chris. I'm like, hey boys, are we still? I quit my job.
Still-
Are we?
Yeah.
Are you guys still good? They're like, yeah, you're up in June. I was like,
Am I still moving
Yeah.
8 hours away?
yeah. I have
They're
two-
like, I don't know, I got COVID. I'll call you back in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
seriously. I'm like, guys, I have 2 kids. Marcy's already his sister. My wife is like, are we still doing this?
Right.
Nick just not even a eloquent sentence. It's just like, yep.
Yeah. No, you're coming,
I was
dude.
like, sweet.
We're doing
this.
this thing, dude.
Right.
With Chris too,
You're too far in.
Yep. I was
Okay.
like, all right, let's go.
But you have a job, so it's easy for you to say. You're like, no, everything's fine.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Anyway,
Piece of cake.
just cash my paycheck again. Did you guys get investors then, or had you saved up? You've been saving up for years for this. What'd you
Yeah,
do?
we it's just us and
Okay.
a small business loan.
Okay.
That's it. So it's 50-50.
They were kind of giving them out during that time too. I feel like the SBA.
We couldn't get anything because we couldn't show loss
Oh,
because we were too new.
oh right.
So
Okay.
we couldn't get any help from
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Okay.
So it was on top. We had some family, obviously, some
Yeah.
close family that.
Let's drink a beer. You're making me need a beer.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Can we try
this
that?
This is not all. This
Do you
is
mind
all
pouring
not-
us
yeah.
the hoppy pills, Tommy? I think we should. I'm still drinking my lager too, but we can stay on the. Actually, you know what? We're going to do a side by side, right? Because isn't one of those
Yeah.
your hoppy pills, and then the other one's a collab of the same beer?
Pure project,
Yeah,
yeah.
so-
I'll let you go for it, Tommy.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Our staple American pills are Uncle Money. There's a whole story that he
more
could tell you about
story.
that too.
Sounds like your uncle has money.
Well, I wish. That's again a long story.
Yeah.
It's a way
So-
cooler story than that.
Yeah, and the raining money is actually collectively the 3 of us. We were like, don't know if you probably know who Pure Project is
Yeah.
in San Diego.
Yeah, yeah.
Their Reign is arguably one of our favorite pilsners of all time.
Okay.
And we're fortunate enough to know those guys very well. When we brewed our collaboration, we're like, dude, like, let's do a pilsner, but like maybe like a hoppy pilsner. And like their Reign, right, our Uncle Money.
Yep.
So we're like, we should call it like Rain and Money.
Nice.
And just do like a hoppy stout. And they loved it. And
Perfect.
so for us, we love those guys beyond belief.
All right. Well, let's do a side by side
Pour the beer, Tom.
of those. Yeah. You guys, and where you brewed this one at your brewery?
Yeah, this is one of the collabs we did for our 2-year anniversary.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Check this out.
Thank you.
It's funny that you guys are doing collabs already as a young brewery like that.
We've
It's
probably
like the
done,
new thing.
We've probably done over 20 collabs.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
We like to party, I guess. I don't know what. I don't
That's
know
all.
what that,
Let's be honest. That's really what collabs are, aren't
and
they?
it's like, it's everyone you meet in this industry has been awesome. And Tommy's known a lot of people because of his background in brewing and met a lot of people, and Chris with his trading, and it's just like we're not afraid to reach out and ask and just be like, hey, you guys are awesome. We'd love to hang out and brew a beer with you.
Nice.
Yeah,
And
it's very cool.
Just turns into fun times and good beer.
And I feel like we're pretty easy to get along with, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
We can
see that.
get along with pretty much anybody.
Sure.
And so that helps.
Yeah,
Guys,
definitely.
We just want to come and
Wanna
hang out.
Put this
and-
anywhere?
No, you can leave them right there. But tell me about. Okay, so let's start with your beer. Tell
Yeah.
me about Uncle Money.
Money.
Yeah.
Let's let
Okay.
Nick tell that
Yeah,
story.
I want Nick
Uncle
to tell
Money?
the story, actually.
Yeah,
Okay,
Uncle,
yeah.
Okay.
Uncle Money is Nick's story.
So there's a few beers in a lot of our early on beers, and this is one of our first ones we ever did. My kids named them.
Okay.
My kids named the beers.
Nice.
And they go years back, too, because I kept them. I was like, that's a good beer name. And whenever they say stupid shit.
Oh, so before the
So-
brewery, you just been
Yeah, before
collecting
the
beer
brewery,
names.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Way before.
And so,
Just dad life.
yeah.
Dad life.
So they my brother, his name is Matt. And by the way, he does all of our can art, California artworks. Like
Nice. Okay.
he does all our murals. We have a few murals, and he does everything for
The
us.
artwork looks great.
He is insanely
He's
good.
really good.
It's really nice stuff.
good.
Next
But
level good.
so they couldn't say Matty when they were young. They called him Uncle Money.
Okay. Nice.
So I was like,
Instead of Uncle Matt.
Not Uncle Matty,
Yeah,
but
Uncle
Uncle
Matty.
Money.
Uncle
yeah.
Money is like, that's an awesome beer name.
That is a good beer name, yeah.
And they still call him Uncle Money to this day.
Oh, that's
14
cool.
years later.
Well, he probably
yeah.
likes it too. It's
Oh,
a
he
good
loves
nickname.
It.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Oh,
And so
that's
they
great.
also, and then the same daughter called one of our babysitters at the time called him a dude monster. So that is the name of our
Staple Hazy.
Hazy, our
staple
flagship
Hazy
Hazy.
IPA.
That might be one of my favorite beer names of all time.
no.
And I've been doing this for a long time. Dude Monster is a fantastic
You couldn't
name.
make it up. Like,
No.
none of us could make that up.
You know how, and so many brewers come in here too, and they're like, you know what? One of the hardest parts of our job is to keep coming up with original names, especially now with what there's a million crap
You
brewers,
haven't
right?
met.
Ask
You
a
haven't met.
4-year-old.
You have-
That's what I was going to outsource to your kids. Done.
I'll say you haven't met Nick or Chris. They both are unbelievable when it comes to like names. I'm like,
It's hard,
hey guys,
though.
I need a label next week.
Some of them are so
2
dumb.
seconds, boom.
But those are some of the best ones too.
Yeah.
Like Alvarado Street is one of our like best selling beers
Those
here.
are the guys, dude.
I
We love Alvarado.
At first, I hated all their beer names. I told them this too. I was like, your beer names are stupid and ridiculous. And now they grew on me. I love them.
Yeah.
They're like some of
the
my
greatest
favorite
beer
beer
I think
names.
my
Yeah.
dad's boat. Like, come on.
Yeah,
It's
Dude,
so
Give
good.
Thanks is such a good beer too.
Yeah,
And I'm
cold-
like, and you have a Norman Rockwell painting on it. It's
so
amazing.
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's so
so
good.
okay. So I've had them both now. I love Uncle Money even more than Rain and Money. Uncle Money is a great. This is like one of your staple beers.
Uncle Money is our staple.
It's our
It
best
is.
seller.
This is a great pilsner.
It's top 3 every week.
Okay, wow.
More of American style pills, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna go for that.
little hoppier.
Yep. Noble hops. You're gonna go a little bit higher on the carbonation. Whereas
A little crispy.
Yeah, you guys are targeting like STS style.
Oh,
A little. Yeah. Trying.
Yeah. Hey, you're close.
God willing.
This is a
so,
damn good pilsner.
Fun fact is, Vinny and I are from the same city. He
Basically,
Oh yeah, his first brewery was down there, or winery.
Yep. And his dad, Solurza Winery. I used to work at across the street at Danza del Sol Winery with his old head winemaker, who's a very good friend of mine. So when these guys got this brewery, I'm like, oh, cool. Nick and Chris would fly me up and like, hey, can you make sure this stuff like works? I'm like, oh yeah, sure. I'm like, this is a really nice plate filter. This is awesome. And I think one of them were like, oh yeah, apparently this is from like Russian River. I was like,
Oh,
there's no way.
from Blind Pig.
Yeah, and Nick's like, I have Vinny's email. Like, so I took a picture of it, like sent Vinny. I'm like, hey, I think this is your filter. He wrote like,
Go right back. to
Well,
20
he gets
minutes, like,
excited about that
so
shit.
awesome,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
he's like, oh my
A
gosh.
guy like Vinny, like getting right back to us.
Yeah.
We're pretty much
Could
best
you
friends now.
imagine? Like,
You want to know what the title was? I
how
was
we
like,
felt?
I wrote Temecula fellow body, and like just so he would like, oh wait,
Yeah.
And I was like, hey man, you don't know me, and I've met you several times at Firestone and stuff, but I'm like, my brother-in-laws both brought a brewery, and we have your plate filter.
That's cool.
And he's like, that's so cool. He goes, dude, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. This and that and the other thing. And he's like, if you need help, like, running it, like, call me.
Yeah.
Or, like, text me. And I was like,
Yeah.
when I was like, holy
So
crap.
rad.
No,
Like,
he's-
dude,
he's
so
he's
rad.
a godfather.
Yeah.
And but he's also a beer nerd.
He's a-
100%.
Like, I don't know if that's a term he used
We-
for himself, but the guy's a beer nerd.
So we
We've
never
been to
did.
Windsor and seen his homebrew kit
Right,
in the
yeah,
middle
yeah.
of the bathroom.
So we go. I was like, I told, of course, I dropped the evil C word. I was like, yeah, like down the road, we'd love to like work with you and maybe
Don't
collab. Didn't hear back,
wouldn't.
right?
Yeah, and he's like, okay,
Yeah.
settle down,
I'm
Junior.
embarrassed.
Listen, everybody in the world wants to work with me, right?
Right, yeah.
And no, but he's his dad. And again, I grew up in Murray, Temecula. I was there for over 30 years.
Wait, where did you grow up? I don't think you've said it yet.
Murray, Temecula.
Okay.
Yeah.
The desert.
Okay,
So,
got it.
All right.
where his dad owned a winery. Yeah.
So I got to know the difference between these two beers. So Rain and Money is a little softer, a little sweeter, but I feel like the sweetness is actually coming from the hops and not the
It's
not the
all
malt.
hops.
So it's just is the major difference in hops? Is that what the two beers are?
We dry hopped it with some. Well, the three of us are some of our favorite hops, especially from like last crop. Is like we did a couple beers last year. We're like, dude. So
Is
we,
it?
we can get into
Are there
Chris's-
New Zealand hops in it?
No.
No.
But we can get into Chris's love for Citra later.
Okay.
But
Yeah, all fair.
HPC 586 was like such a cool crop, and it was supposed to be named actually last year at CBC, but never did. But we actually brewed with that quite a bit last year, and Citra.
A bunch.
So with the Pure Boys, we're like, hey, we brewed with them back in June, and we're like, hey, like, we did a hoppy lager with them, and at Pure.
Yeah.
And then when they came up to us, it was like, dude, we should do the same thing, but like we want to use like Citra and HPC 586, and they're
Yeah.
like, done.
Is
Like,
the base the same? Like the malt?
It's a touch different.
It's a
So
little
different.
with our Uncle Money, we throw a little like not even a percentage of Munich at it
Okay,
for the American style. With the Rain and Money, it was all pills.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're very different.
And obviously the hoppy pills, like we actually dry hopped the Rain and Money.
Okay.
Whereas with our Uncle Money, we just do Whirlpool hops. We
Oh, you do?
dry hop
Okay.
it, yeah.
And it's
Just
all, did you
more
say,
noble.
I think one of you said it's all noble hops too in the Uncle Money? Yeah.
Uncle Money's just sauce.
Just sauce.
Sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're both great. Those
Thanks,
are good
man.
beers. Yeah, I could
And
drink
you get like
either
a-
of those all day on a boat.
Prove it.
Or not on a boat.
Prove it.
That's
yeah.
what it's for. That's what it's for, right?
Yeah.
Chris and I actually, the conversation the other day was like, man, I wish, like, it's funny, like, we have, a lot of Rain and Money left or whatever, blah, 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 from our anniversary, but I'm like, that was like, I thought was going to fly, because everyone's like, we actually had this conversation earlier, it's like, the West Coast, the lager game is now starting to, like,
Yep.
almost like make a resurgence, right?
I think so.
Almost like the hazies are kind of like, whatever.
It definitely
An
is.
IPA, you guys said IPA is not your best seller?
Oh,
Our-
it's up there.
our
For
West
sure,
Coast are
for sure.
What I thought you were saying Uncle Money is.
Uncle Money is in our top 3 every week.
Our,
Yeah,
like-
see, and as a lager, that didn't used to happen. And lately in the past year or so, I've had several brewers come in here and say that similar.
It's,
I feel like our
it's
West
awesome.
Coast, our lager game is kind of like where we're almost
Clear
like we're
beer.
known for.
Clear
yeah,
beer,
clear
yeah.
beer.
Okay.
We got some lagering tanks coming too, which we're super stoked
Super
about.
pumped.
So
Okay.
it's-
Lagering's
Yeah,
tough
bunch
too.
more.
Look at you going for it as a young brewer. But I guess you've been at it for a while now, if you've had the other experience.
It's tough, but it's time consuming.
Yeah. Which is why you need
Which is why I need a lager tank, so I can fast forward.
turnarounds.
Yeah.
Kills you.
Well, when
Yeah.
it's a 30, it's a
Tall tanks.
It's a 20-foot tank compared
Takes
to
forever
a
to fall
yeah.
out.
4-foot tank.
Right.
So now with our lager tanks, I can start pushing these things through.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. We're going to take a quick break.
Okay, let's do it.
That way we can get some different and more beer in our glass. I'm excited to taste more beer now. I haven't had your beer before now. I'm going to be honest with you.
Here we go.
It's a
Yeah,
good
we're
start.
stoked.
I'm excited about it. All right, hang in there. You're listening to The Session. We're talking to Movement Brewing Company, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the program. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We are still speaking with Movement Brewing Company out of Rancho Cordova. You can go to movementbrewingco.com. Check them out. You can get their hours. You can order beer. I think you guys ship beer too, probably just in California.
Absolutely. Yep. All throughout Cali.
So if you're all throughout California, if you want to do that, and check out some of the things that we're talking about. We're going to get into my favorite style right now. I think the pale ale, right? We got a pale ale and then an IPA. We'll do this segment. All right, let's do some pale ale. That sounds fun. Yeah. Let's go for it. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the history. So finally, after years, Nick, you decide it's time to pull the trigger in 2019. What changed for you to make you decide that?
There's a couple things. I know Chris was getting out of his job that he had forever as a heavy equipment operator.
Okay.
So he was looking for a transition as well.
Why? That's good money, Chris.
Messed up my back.
The back injury?
That's the one thing you can't have. Yeah.
That's a good gig, though, other than that,
it was
right?
Great. Yeah. I love the company I worked for forever.
Okay. All right.
And the only reason I left is because it just couldn't.
The
couldn't
injury.
do it anymore.
How do you mind if I ask how old you are, or at least how old you were when that happened?
36 now. So that was a couple years ago. So 33, 32.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I changed tires for years.
Sure.
Truck tires, not little tires.
Yeah, we were a
truck
trucking company
Actually,
too.
and I would do earth movers and shit too.
Yeah.
They'd sometimes send me out on that boom truck.
We did it all.
I did that from like 18 to I want to say 22, 23.
Yeah.
When I also hurt my back and then
I was
on
19.
I was
19 to like 32.
That's a long
so.
time. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got out of it. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Me too.
so Chris is about ready to transition out, and you
about that same time, because everyone knows I'd been talking about it for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know who it was, but someone said like, "You'll never do it," and I said, "Fuck you."
Never to say that.
And that was that.
And it was like, "Chris, we're doing this. Like, I'm finding a spot." And
Okay.
so it's like not even a year later, we had the keys.
Wow.
So,
So you just went for it.
Yeah.
What size brew house do you have?
15 barrel.
Oh, so you
oversized
didn't
15 barrel.
you didn't cheap out either. You went.
No, it was an old existing brewery and brew house that had the equipment already in there.
Oh, so you got like a
So-
turnkey-ish
It was
building.
turnkey-ish.
Okay. All right.
It was the equipment had been neglected a little bit over the last couple years, but yes, the building and the equipment were there and
Okay.
installed.
That's pretty lucky.
So funny story about that too is we were up against some pretty stiff competition to try and get
bidding
that
on it?
building. Yeah.
Okay.
15 other people.
Yeah.
That makes sense, especially in 2019. That makes sense.
With some existing
Yeah, right.
breweries looking to expand.
Okay.
And I just told our real estate guys, like, get me and Chris in front of the landlord.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get me in front of them. Let's do and it'll be ours.
Yeah.
And we won them over.
The in person that day was, we couldn't have done a better job.
So tell me
we were
about that.
on.
This is interesting to me because I'm the same. In fact, I was going through something with the city recently, and we were going back and forth through a third party, and I said, no, just put me in front of the people.
Yeah.
We will make this happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me, like, is that just, did you just feel that you had a compelling story, or is that like your forte?
It's a story for sure, I think, but I'm also in sales. So,
Okay. Yeah.
My whole, like, everything I know is based on relationships and being able to talk to someone.
Okay.
Do a handshake. You know, like, nothing's the same over email or over the phone.
Yeah.
And I'm old school, so it's almost
Yeah.
the same
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
where I don't like talking on the phone. Like,
Yeah.
I want to meet someone. I want to get in front of them. And Nick had texted me. He's like, hey, I got to sit down. We got to win them over.
Right.
And me and him both went in with the mindset of,
We're coming out of here with a
we're
brewery.
coming out with,
Yeah.
that's number one.
If you could pinpoint or condense it, what do you think made the difference?
Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, our mindset, like the no fail aspect of our mindset was
Okay.
we weren't questioning anything, man. We were going in. We're gonna, like, that's what the movement is.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. The name,
coming
obviously.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with then your landlord, it seems like made a good move because come 2020, maybe almost any of those other people would have been like, well, sorry.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it was 2 failed breweries before that.
Was it?
In the same spot.
Okay.
So, yeah, he was definitely nervous.
and he told you that, like, hey, did he say, why are you guys any different?
He called us Third Strike Brewing before the meeting. Like,
Yeah. He
oh, snap.
he was going into this like
he was gonna
what-
sell the equipment.
How are you different?
Yeah.
You know.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And you told him because we just won't fail.
Yeah. We're too stubborn.
He's like, yeah, that's what
We're
1
too
and 2 said.
stubborn.
Yeah,
Sure.
okay, yeah. He might have believed that. Look, you look like a stubborn guy, Chris.
Yeah, we
Oh,
both
all
are.
right. Wait till you get him at 6 in the morning for a canning day. Woo, boy.
Yeah, okay.
What's
So,
that supposed to mean?
so the guy says,
No, he's still lovely.
the landlord says yes,
Yeah.
and the lease is on the equipment and the building and everything?
We bought,
We bought the equipment.
Okay,
Yeah.
So we own everything inside.
got it. So he just cared about, like, just buy this equipment from this person and then
Getting that
lease
rent
this
check.
building. Okay. I get it.
And honestly, he turned out to be the best freaking renter.
He's a great landlord.
He helped us out
Okay,
in
nice.
the beginning, like throttling our rent
Oh, wow. Okay.
to where he like worked it up to our full rent in the first couple months.
Okay.
Honestly, we've had a great relationship.
And was he cool during the pandemic? And that's, yeah, okay.
He was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
But that helped a bunch too.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I don't even know your model. Do you guys have a tasting room there? Is it
Oh
ju-
yeah, we got a big one.
Okay.
7,000 square feet.
Okay.
We like to party. Like, we throw parties.
How big
Straight
is the
up.
whole building then?
Okay, so the whole building's 7,000.
Okay. All right. So I'm
So my
like,
party.
I'm like, man, you do like to party. That's
But our tasting room's what, 40%?
Yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah. And then we added a patio. So
50%?
there's, yeah, a little
Okay.
more.
What percentage you sell over the counter? Do you think?
75%.
You do. Okay.
It's a
But that's a good. That's not a bad thing.
Oh, we love
It
selling
was
pints.
a bad thing
I
if you
love-
did that in 2019 and the pandemic hit. But right now, it's a good thing.
We love
Right,
a packed
so,
house, dude.
Yeah,
We love it.
And I'm thinking of the other failed breweries. Is it a spot that even needed a brewery? Like, why did they fail?
I think it was style.
Yeah. I mean,
And
we
not
have our
wanting to change it with the times.
Okay. Oh, it's like old beers.
lot old style beer, like browns, reds.
Oh, I can't wait for an amber ale, guys.
Amber, yeah. Well,
We've done an amber and it was dope.
Okay.
dude.
All right.
But we do everything else too. Like,
Yeah.
And also they
Today
use
you have
the space that we have. Luckily, we have Chris is good at it too, but our wives are very good with designing and maximizing space.
Okay. Yeah.
So we turned what they had carved out maybe 1,000 square feet in that 7,200 for their tasting room, and it was blocked off from everything else.
Okay.
We opened up the whole fucking thing.
So you could see. I saw that in the virtual
Everything.
tour where it
Yeah.
does seem like a cohesive space now.
Wide
yeah,
open.
and so we're able to have a lot more people in there. It's open. There's 20-foot ceilings. You don't feel like you're in a tiny little tasting room.
Right.
I don't know. It's a fun place. There's always upbeat music in there whenever you walk in. That's probably a little louder than most places too. Like
Yeah.
it's like Chris said, we like to have a
It's a
good
party
time.
atmosphere.
And then clearly there's enough population and a community there that wanted a local brewery.
Yeah. Well,
That's how it started,
It's-
but I feel like it's driving people from out of the area now.
to there,
And the
which is
city has
great.
done a great job. The
Yes.
city of Rancho
The Barrel
Cordova. So
District.
we're in what's called the Barrel District. There's 5 or 6 breweries, distilleries
Oh, okay.
within a couple miles of each other. So you can go up and down the road and
Nice.
and brewery hop, and it's easy. People do it on their bikes.
Oh,
It's-
yeah.
yeah. So it's good.
That's great.
Yeah.
So do you feel like, well, this would be a dumb question because you opened in 2020?
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask if you had immediate success, but I'm guessing you had to struggle along for a bit.
We kind of, we couldn't fully open, right?
Yeah.
So that was the struggle.
Okay.
If
But
we
you
could've,
immediately sold beer to go, I assume.
Yes.
Like that became
That's
your
100%.
plan, right? Okay.
Well, we weren't going to can anything to start out.
Okay.
For the
but
first
that
year, we're not
changed like
canning.
that.
We're
Bought
canning our
the
first
crowler
batch.
machine, started canning everything.
Okay. You bought a canning line. You didn't.
No.
Crowler machine.
Crowler machine. Okay. Yeah. And then used like a can van too.
Can van.
Or, yeah. Okay.
Yep. Still
All right.
use can van to this day.
And so
Hashtag love you, Jen.
did the community like we got to go buy beer from these guys? Like did that sort of happen throughout the pandemic when you couldn't be open, or even that was a struggle?
I mean, we did okay. It was still a struggle. I mean, Chris brought his bar from his kitchen and put it
Outside,
We
or-
put the roll-up door, and we were
the tap
serving
room-
out of this bar.
Dude, that was our bar.
this
Right.
Tap
wide.
room wasn't done for
No,
or
they shut down construction
4 or
too,
5
so-
months
Oh,
after we
right.
opened.
Yeah.
So we were outdoors only,
Damn. Yeah.
and then construction just stopped for months.
Okay.
Months. And
Dude, remember the
months.
bathrooms? Like the bathrooms would be like, they weren't even framed out, but there was just like piles of dirt.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I want a beer. I'm like, cool. It's like, do you have a bathroom? We're like, yeah, it's right there.
Sort
But
of.
There's just
Yeah.
like two
Or,
piles
yeah.
of dirt.
Oh wow.
Dealing with our contractor is also another podcast.
Meanwhile, me and Chris and Nick, Chris and
We
Nick
can all talk about
It was
that.
so
playing
bad.
some golden tea, just like trying to like, oh yeah, it's over there, dude. Yeah. Watch out for that pile of dirt, by the way.
So yeah, it was all outdoor only, and we didn't like. So
Okay.
it was definitely tough, but we.
And you didn't have any accounts at that time. I guess if you
no
did,
bars
they were
open.
closed too.
There
Yeah.
was nothing open.
No,
Right.
but we all said, like, we all agreed, like, we're can you cuss on this?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can say
Fuck
whatever the
yeah.
fuck you want.
We're too fucking stubborn to fail.
Oh my god.
But you weren't making money, to be honest. Like you weren't in the black during that time. In
No.
2020.
No,
By the way,
no.
nobody was. So
No
there's
way.
nothing. We all weren't.
And we had no employees. It was just us four.
That's what saved
like,
us, is such a low overhead.
Okay.
Probably,
Yeah.
because we were all, that was us. It was
Well,
us.
how were you working, Nick? I thought you had another gig.
It was
After work on
weekends and after
weekends?
work.
Okay.
Like, I
Same
was
with
getting
my
lunch.
wife. Me and Alana were full time.
Okay.
I mean, we
Just
like I said,
anything.
we were too stubborn to fail.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay. So when things finally start to reopen, does that change a lot for you? Like immediately, or did you guys still have to kind of slow build to where
We
you're
went
at?
for it.
Okay.
We're like, if we're allowing us to open, we're throwing parties. So
Okay,
it's like
yeah.
right away. It was all right. Wednesday night we're doing cornhole because we have a huge room, so we set up 4 or 5 cornhole boards.
Nice.
Have tournaments
Cornhole
every cornhole
Heck
league
yeah.
every Wednesday. We're doing trivia every Thursday.
Yeah.
Fridays live music.
And we
It's
dialed
like-
it in, so it's great.
Have you
bands
been there
every
yet?
Friday.
Nice. I've never
Dude,
been.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a huge
And
spot.
Saturday
It's
we'll do
crazy.
like a magic show or a car
Comedy.
show in the
We have
parking lot.
comedy,
Or comedy.
yeah.
Like,
Okay.
Yeah, our house
Keep it
comedian just went on.
fun.
Was a finalist for America's
Yeah.
Got Talent.
Oh, is that right?
Mikey Winfield?
Oh,
Shout out
that's
Mikey. He was
awesome.
our guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Mikey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
hashtag
cool. So you just went events every day, just whatever you could do. Okay.
It was
Kept it
it was
fun.
like, hey, we almost look at it like we need to throw some type of party every night. And party
Yeah.
doesn't mean the rager; it just means
Sure.
like we need
Activity.
to keep people here for more than one beer that they're going to love to hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we got
yeah,
4 pinball machines. We got
Come for one, stay for 3.
Yeah. Right.
basically,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. So we want people to come enjoy themselves and stay.
Yeah.
Not just a place where you take it to go beer, but it's a destination to bring your family, bring your friends,
Yeah.
hang out, like have fun, hang out
Kid
with
dog
us.
friendly.
Is it industrial?
Yeah.
Like okay.
Yeah.
Very
Got it.
industrial.
But the barrel mile, is that what you call it? The barrel
district.
The barrel district is all that same type of industrial district.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
We're all a little different.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, which is cool. I think that makes
For
it.
sure. Yeah. If you want to go there, you
Yeah,
don't
everyone
just,
has their own
Don't go
vibe.
warehouse to
Yeah,
warehouse.
There's different vibes for every brewery,
Which is
Is
great.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about this great pale ale that's in my glass. I'm really enjoying.
Rivalry.
Let's go Notre Dame.
Pale ale, it never fails.
Irish.
All right.
I've been doing this. I think we're about to have the Brewing Network's 18th anniversary.
No way,
Congrats.
dude.
In June of 23, I think it'll be 18. Yeah.
No
Thank you,
That is wild.
and pale ale is the whole time. It's still my
Yeah,
favorite
and this
stuff.
is a classic
Just
pale
never-
too.
Okay.
AJ, can
This is
I
a classic.
bring up
You know, it is a classic
There's more
pale.
hops.
Hang on, can I pour myself more
Oh,
first?
please.
Yeah.
It is a classic pale, but it has new school hop.
It
to
does.
me.
It's. I guess. Yeah. I guess on today's standards, it's a mix of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
your microphone.
It's
Some new
a-
school hops, but still have that caramel malt.
So the
to
way
give
we're
it
looking
that
at it, like
base.
Nick
Sure.
and I and Chris were like, all right, we did this last year
Yeah. This is our second.
and second variation, but I was like, you know what? We actually talked about Sierra Nevada, like Green Label, Crystal 60, like old school pale, right?
Yeah.
But we're like, dude, like, why don't we just keep it light? Let's not dry hop it as much as our West Coast. A little bit of, so instead of using 60, we're like, oh, we use 15. Give it a little bit of color to it.
Yeah.
And then last year was Centennial and HPC 586. This year we're
The
like,
goat.
the
new goat.
fucking goat. Sorry. Can I
Why do
cuss?
they name it that?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cuss.
Somebody's going to do that eventually.
But Nick was, and you know, he's like, hey, dude, like, you want to throw some Cascada this year? And I'm like,
Heck yeah.
I do. And I text Chris, I'm like, hey, can I throw some Cascada this? He's like, yeah.
Yeah. Nice. So it's Cascade and HBC?
Centennial,
Uh,
HBC 586, hot side, and then all two, those two plus Cascade on the dry hop.
Okay. And
But
what's it called? What's the beer name?
It's Rivalry 3. It's our USC versus Notre Dame.
We have a whole rivalry.
We have a
Rivalry
huge
is a whole
rivalry
In the
series.
family? Or,
No,
Well, yes.
Yeah. No, we do. Now we do. We do. We
Being
do.
from Southern California and Northern California, we decided to start. We always go battle for sports teams.
Sure.
Dodgers, Giants.
Yeah.
Lakers, Kings.
Okay.
Rams, Niners.
49ers. So we're like, let's make a rivalry series out of this.
The only one team
Nice,
that we actually
nice.
agree on is
It's
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. But none of you are from Michigan.
No.
You just like Notre Dame.
No.
We're Irish.
Indiana.
But you're Irish.
But we're
Okay,
all-
so you
yeah,
have no
South Bend.
choice.
My in-laws are from not South Bend, but they're Joliet, Illinois, which is right next to South Bend. So like
Right.
growing up, I was like, oh yeah, I root for the Irish, but
Sure.
whatever.
And
I
I'm
mean, it
Irish
does make
Catholic,
sense.
so
If
I
you
have
don't
to.
have an alma mater that's in Division One,
Right.
you just vote by your
I'm Irish
by your
Catholic.
heritage.
Yeah.
I'm Irish Catholic.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
right. That makes sense.
Meaning both of them, I was like, wait a minute. So we all agree on Notre Dame? They're like, yeah. I was like,
And we
at
all
least got
three-
something.
We all.
But
three
who do
love
you?
sports.
Does USC play Notre Dame?
Yeah,
Last week.
I don't want
They
to talk
played
about
it
it.
last-
I don't want to talk
Oh, they
about it.
did.
last Saturday?
Well, who do you root? How do you know who to root for?
Notre Dame.
It's Notre Dame, dude.
we all. That's the
I
one
see.
team we all agree on. is
But I
Notre
thought
Dame.
you, Nick, would be a USC fan.
No.
I grew up
no,
Notre
no,
Dame.
no.
Oh, Tommy was the Southern California guy.
We're,
No, I was
we're
also-
both Southern California
They
guys.
both thought-
However, we all agree on Notre Dame.
Okay, I see. All right, so
I know.
it's always just
No one's perfect.
That trumps everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
for lack of a better term.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So-
what's the ABV on this too? Let's see. 5.3. All right, it's right where I like it. A lot of times they're creeping up to 6
the
and
IPA
even
standard, like
yeah, and
ABVs.
I don't hate on it if it still tastes great. That's fine.
Jay, we're
But I-
looking at more of like to me personally, is more of like kind of like getting in between both styles, like the old school pale ales to like
Yeah.
the new school pale ales where there's no crystal malts and just huge hops.
right.
Who wanted to go in between? Whereas
I
Crystal
like
that.
15 a little bit not as heavily hopped as our IPAs, but like still relevant.
This is a great pale ale.
Thank you.
How does this sell for you guys?
It's been great.
Good.
Yeah.
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 I see.
Not as well as if it was labeled an IPA.
Yeah. Not West
Well,
Coast
oh,
IPA.
So we
standard.
just had our first ever pale ale festival here at the Hop Grenade. I've been wanting to do it for years.
Yeah.
Stupid fucking move, but it was great. And we
ain't
had
no
fun.
money, we went under.
But because there's no I in front of it,
Yeah.
we planned for like masses of people, but it didn't happen. But the people that came absolutely loved it, and the brewers above all,
yeah.
like almost all, we had 32 pale ales on.
Oh, that's awesome.
And everybody blind tasted. Because I didn't want this like popularity contest bullshit. So they were just numbered 1 through 32, and at the end you submitted your vote for your one favorite pale ale. The brewers fucking loved it. Like most of them came out. Most of them could not, by the way, guess your own beer. When it's completely blind, it is very hard to tell anything.
Yeah.
Although Sierra Nevada Pale Ale was on tap. And a bunch of brewers were like, "That's Sierra Nevada Pale Ale."
that's the one.
It's in
right?
everybody's fridge.
That's
right?
the one beer. Not even just pale ale. That's the one beer.
That's the
everybody can-
Because whether it's so funny that you can recognize that even more than your own beer. Because
Yeah.
most brewers are like, I had that last night. Like I was drinking it yesterday.
Yeah. Green label, dude.
it's the most notable, most influential beer in the face of, well, maybe the country.
Totally.
California, at
the
least.
world.
But
Yeah.
we're doing this Pale Fest again. I don't give a shit. That's
Love
how
it.
dedicated I and my team here, like
Can we be
everybody
invited?
here loves
We're
Pale,
in.
and you're in. It's now that I've
We're
tasted.
in.
Can we be invited?
It's part of why I'm bringing it up. Now that I've tasted this, you guys are in.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
you
Cool.
guys are. You wouldn't have won,
No.
but it's not because this isn't
Okay,
great.
we'll work on it then.
I'll tell you why. Everybody,
give me the
a lot of
secret.
the brewers not complained. They were like, "Well, an IPA is going to win." In other words, a low alcohol, hoppy ass.
Hoppier pale.
That's what won.
Hey, I'm gonna throw that.
Yeah,
That's
Crystal
what won.
15.
It was a great beer,
Just
by the
a-
way.
Just a mess.
It was a great pale ale. Alvarado Street won.
Yeah.
Alvarado Street won with a clear, hoppy,
Yeah.
awesome pale
And
ale.
how much crystal malt?
But and probably zero. But I don't think that should discourage you from entering a beer like
Oh,
this.
dude.
But I'm just saying
Well, we only
because it's
entered to win,
people's
though,
choice.
so-
But here's the other thing. Next year,
We only entered
I'm gonna
to
try to do it like the Bistro does it and have a
dude.
judged panel
Yes.
and the people's choice.
We're coming hard for Bistro this year.
So
Are you?
so-
We're trying.
Nice.
We're
All right,
trying.
so for that one, right? Like we had been talking about that, like North Park,
Slice.
Alvarado, Slice, like our all of our
The killers.
good friends. You know, it's like their pale ales is literally just like Pilsner. I'm like, well, that's not. I mean, yes, and categorically, yes, that's pale.
Right.
But I'm like, the pale that we grew up with is like, oh, I'm gonna throw some Crystal 60 at that.
Well, it's
bitch.
just changed now.
Yeah.
And now it's just changed. So I'm like, I'm gonna throw some 15 and see what
Sure.
happens.
No, that's a good compromise. And we've talked about Crystal on and off on this show for years and years. My former co-hosts were better at it than me. And we've swayed in advice to homebrewers and brewers from like, no, go ahead and get rid of Crystal malt, to Tasty, who used to be my co-host here, was always like, no. You gotta have. You still need a little Crystal in there. This whole like throw it all out with the bathwater. Don't do that.
No.
But he would say things like you're going to like, let's do a little Crystal 15. Don't go overboard, but something to give it a little backbone.
So we the three of us, when we talk about
Also
recipes,
love Tasty. Like
Tasty.
Tasty.
Oh
is
my
the
God,
goat,
so good.
dude.
Here we go to Tasty.
Yes,
Feel like every
love
time we
that,
say his
dude.
name in here, we gotta give him a little toast.
Freaking A, dude.
Tasty.
Montucky
Yeah.
Cold
Yeah.
Snacks. When was that coming? No. Okay. All right.
I'm out. Tommy,
Great beer.
pour me some more beer.
Awesome.
Well, let's do the IPA. We got time in this segment for one more beer, so I think you guys want to do the IPA, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
Sure. Yeah.
Is that which one you want to do? Okay.
So while I'm right here.
Yeah, here, pass it to. Can you pour for us?
I can-
Chris. Can someone pour? Well, because you want to tell me about this beer, right? Nick? Yeah. Tommy, want to tell me about the beer?
Sorry, I'm gonna real quick. Can I revert back to the?
Yeah. No, that's what I mean. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nick and I and Chris, we're all like, all right, dude. Like our Rivalry 3, like we don't do pale ales, right? Ever. It's always like West Coast hazy, double West Coast, double hazy. So like the pale ale for me has been like, dude, like, and Nick was actually this last year for this one. He's like, dude, let's throw some fucking Cascade at it, dude.
Ah,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Old school.
Who doesn't want to?
Old school sea hops.
Cascade at it, dude. Right. So leading into what became of the Rivalry 3 into our Dank RS is like, we talk about sea hops. We a lovely base of, half 2-row, half pills, and then a bunch of sea hops. Chinook.
That's in the
Yeah,
Dank
the
RS
C's,
right now.
dude.
So
Okay.
so yeah, we're the heavy seas
Chinook
right now.
is so good too.
Chinook,
Yeah.
Columbus. So Nick and Chris are like, hey, I want this to be dank. Can we throw some fun stuff at it? I was
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. What do you guys want to do? Throw some sea hops. So we got Chinook, Columbus, Centennial, Citra, and Simcoe.
Okay.
That's an
And
ass hop.
That's a
Cryos-
dank. Yeah. That'll do it for you.
but he's like at the same time, like let's make it fruity and like a little bit of like resinous, right? Like some dank stuff. I was like, all right, cool. So we, but between the two of them, I was like, is this okay? Can I do this? They're like, yep. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
It came out pretty dank.
Dank
Yeah.
bomb.
Yeah.
So-
Is it dry hopped with all of those too?
Yes.
Okay.
And with we use Citra Cryo. Actually, I think we use Chinook Cryo and Columbus Cryo too.
I didn't even
bunch
know
of
there
cryo.
was Chinook Cryo.
Dude, yeah. Yakima Chief can do a lot of weird
Yeah. Yeah, this is a nice, and this is just a single IPA, right? Single West Coast. It's clear. Here, I can
So,
put it on the
our
camera for
good
you folks at home.
Yep. Our good boys at Sack Beer Enthusiasts were like, dude, like we want to do a collaboration with you guys, like
A danky
do
West
like a
Coast.
dank West Coast. We're like, okay, whatever. I mean, like as we briefly touched on this, but Chris is what we like to call a citrus slut.
Okay.
But we can end on that.
Yeah.
But like
Here we go.
everything,
No,
and I am as well. Nick is too, but he won't admit it. But
But you love
Where are we
Citra.
going
we
with
all love
this?
Yeah. I don't
Well, so
but I'm saying it was like we basically just like everything was like we have this base of like, all right, if we're gonna do an IPA, like what else?
all
can
the
we-
C's.
Yeah. So
But
like,
you're missing one thing that most brewers, especially recently, come in here and mention. And I think you're the only guest I've had in a long time that hasn't said the M word yet.
Motueka?
Mosaic.
oh, we have.
But I am all about Motueka.
We're all mosaic. That's why I said Motueka.
But
Dude, good pull, bro.
yeah,
We
the
do
old-
mosaic in like half of our beers.
You
Yeah,
do
that's
okay.
true, that's
All right. So I just haven't had it yet.
Yeah,
so
correct.
okay. right.
Beer Kings coming up in a couple
Our beer
weeks. We'll
kings,
have to
this
send
is
us
like
some.
a staple West Coast that we
That's
do.
Beer Kings
Okay.
is just Mosaic, simple.
Got it.
Mosaic Enigma.
Okay. Yeah, because I have brewers come in here and they're like, well, there's not really a beer we make that doesn't have mosaic in
Yeah,
it.
we
And then
use a
it's
lot of
with all these other things.
We like
so
to
you
be
do
weird
too. Okay.
/
But this is a good C beer. All the C's, right? Is there one hop in here that isn't a C? Oh,
The Simcoe.
the Simcoe. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, it just has a good sound.
Yeah.
All the C's and
Well,
Simcoe.
I'm going to see, but like, I also want to throw
right.
Citra in to A, appease my brother-in-law, B, create some sort of like, citrus round out of the beer itself.
Yeah.
It's like Chinook Columbus. You're looking
Yeah.
at
Is it
like-
even amounts of all of them?
no, Chinook Columbus, yes.
There's more Simcoe than anything.
Heavier.
And then
Citra.
on the dry hop with like Cryo and like, Lupa Max, that stuff was like Citra and Simcoe to bring out more of like that fruit forward,
Okay.
tropical notes.
newer style. type.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
newer exactly.
Is the cryo? What's the format? I've never even seen a box
It's
of cryo.
just-
I know what it
it's-
is, but is it dust?
No, it's the same. It looks like a T90 pellet,
So it looks like a pellet. Okay.
but you're losing 30-40% of the actual green matter that's typically
In a regular pellet. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
So instead of being like, oh, hey, Nick and Chris, is it cool if I spend $1,000 on Citra for these T90s?
Yeah.
Or for 44 pounds, or I can do 22 pounds of Citra Cryo, and it's
The
all lupulin and
Right.
myrcene, all that, all the fun oils.
Okay.
of life,
Okay.
right?
And is there even a bittering hop in this beer? Is there like a 60-minute hop?
For dank?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dank
So
rye,
we typically we'll roll through some like Simcoe, Warrior,
Okay.
Chinook for like first wort.
Yeah. Okay.
Just in our, you guys know what are IBUs on a single 65
For a single West Coast.
single West
Yeah,
Coast,
65,
65-ish.
60.
This
We're
has a
around
pretty
the
strong
six-
perceived bitterness to me.
So 65, 70-ish.
Okay. All right. I'm going to get us to another break.
Cool.
Mostly because I want to try and learn about the 12 hops of Christmas, which I think we have on tap, right? Didn't you
Yeah.
guys send us that?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got it.
Okay.
That's Nick.
Yep.
So
Nick's all about that.
That is Nick's dream boat.
This is Nick's.
I
I don't know about that.
Maybe not dream boat, but you brought it into
Love child?
Yeah,
Sure.
fruition. Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we're going to try the 12 hops of Christmas, and then I think a barrel-aged Saison. I want to try that. Yeah, we'll run out of time before too much more, but I want to get to that too.
Cool.
So hang in there. You're listening to The Session, and we'll be right back.
You're the reason I'm going mad. You're mine, only mine. You're mine, only mine. Look and key to hide away all the things you can't explain. But they ease the pain, that they keep you sane. That they ease the pain, and it over yet. Over yet. Is there an end at your request? No foul play, no accidents, no foul play, no accidents, no accidents, no insurance claims, no accidents. You're the reason I'm going to prison. You're the reason I'm going mad. You're mine, only mine. You're mine, only mine. And don't let 'em call you. Don't let 'em call you. Don't let 'em call you. Don't let 'em call you never again. Slightly sexy, a bit deranged, slapped a bandit on the outbound Wollongong train. You're an unsolved mystery, constantly challenging me, but I wanna hear it all. You got to go in to get out. Can I sleep next to you? Can I
Welcome back to the session. Thank you for hanging out with us. We are hanging out with Movement Brewing Company. We've got some more beer to try. But real quick, I got to let you know about a special beer that came out today. It won't be today when you're listening to this podcast, but if you're watching live, it's today, December 1st. From 21st Amendment, it's their mouth-watering seasonal classic, Hell or High Pomegranate. Just hit the brewery today. You could have gone and picked it up on December 1st. By the time you hear this podcast in a few days, you can probably get it on the shelves. It's an American fruit beer with real pomegranate juice, which brings out those fruity and slightly tart notes that blend together with soft malt and biscuit flavors. It's a great beer. Available now in 6-packs and 19.2 ounce cans. So, and by the way, you can tell your friends, like if you're just looking for an excuse to drink beer, just tell them that pomegranates are a superfruit and you're doing your body good. Check them out. 21st Amendment. You can go to 21st-amendment.com and get that beer in your gullet. All right. So we are still drinking beer with the Movement folks, and I have probably the haziest beer I've seen in a long time in my glass. 12 hops of Christmas. And unless you're just fucking with me, it probably has 12 hops in it.
It does.
Okay.
Yeah.
And was it just the idea like, hey, let's just go for this? It's the 12 days of Christmas. Why not do this?
Yeah, that definitely played a part in it. And I remember we were at the Untapped Festival in San Diego, and we were talking with Mac from North Park, and one of their beers that we loved, he named off like 9 hops that were in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit.
Right.
Like, I had no idea you could even do that.
Yeah.
And so like a month, 2 months later, it's like, fuck it. Let's do how many? What do the hops look like in the walk-in, Tommy?
I was like,
and oh, we got
we
this.
have, like,
Okay, we got
this,
enough.
this.
You got 12.
Yeah, figure out.
It's like
How many
12.
did you have? Just out of curiosity, do you think if you had wanted to do
probably had
17
14.
hops? Okay,
We probably
so
had
you were
Probably like
right
14,
there.
16 hops.
Yeah.
And like,
Right.
there's
But that doesn't make
I like
sense.
to call it like our meatloaf hazy, right? You're cleaning out the fridge.
That's a great.
But it worked, and meatloaf's delicious.
The casserole.
It just
And
worked
the casserole.
so
amazing
good.
singer. I mean, let's
R.I.P.
revert it back. He's-
R.I.P.
But seriously,
meatloaf.
R.I.P.
like, it was
meatloaf.
our meatloaf hazy. It
All right, I'm
was-
going to give you my honest right now.
Please.
Here he goes.
I'm 3 sips in. The first sip, I was like, oh no, I don't know about that.
Cool.
Second sip, oh, well, what is that? There's something I'm trying to pick out. Third sip,
It's meatloaf.
I'm kind of now I'm in because now I'm actually I'm picking out a bunch of different things. And this of course is both the genius and the problem with a bunch of hops in a beer, right? Is if it becomes too muddled, well then you didn't really do anything cool.
Right.
But and by the way, for me, a lot of beers you shouldn't judge them till you get to the second or third sip. I have a bunch of beers where I'm like, oh, I don't know.
I'm a half pint guy.
And before you get to know it, right?
I don't like flights.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll
right.
say it right.
Best
now.
palate.
Yeah, yeah.
Best
Don't
palate.
like-
Best palate in California.
Is
So I
oh,
can't-
one of
I
the
can't
best
smell.
Well,
So
Chris
I can't
has the
smell.
best-
I can't smell at all.
Best
you
palate
lost
in
your
California.
smell?
Lost my smell
Okay.
like 6
Jay,
years ago. I had
Jay, best palate in California. This man right here. And I have
You're
to
like
work for this man.
you're like Dewey Cox. You
So
lost your
my
smell.
tongue is
100%
crazy.
Dewey Cox.
It's we call it the tongue nose.
Okay.
It's
Oh, I see.
seriously.
Okay.
And so
Wow.
it picks up stuff. you
So,
know?
but you know what I'm saying, right? Like
Yeah,
it's a dangerous move to.
it is. It's
but,
wild.
But now I'm into it.
Yeah.
Because I'm starting to pick out a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
Like at first I was like, oh, there's literal like orange juice, not citrus. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, there's some orange
Actual
juice.
orange juice.
Yep.
Yeah, we love Valencia oranges. Chris can
There's
attest to that.
none in there, but I do.
There's
love
actually not
ones.
any in there, but yeah.
And then there's some pine
Yeah.
that I'm picking out. There's about 4 other citrus, stone fruit.
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
It kind of runs
and
you
tropical.
through.
To the camera too, so
Are we
folks at
cheersing?
home, because
Well,
I'm
Kinda
holding up to
runs
the
you
camera in
through
front of
all
me.
the parameters of a hazy IPA, right? Like
Yeah.
all the flavors you ever had in a hazy IPA, you kind of
Wow.
as it opens up, it's you get different flavors. It's kind of fun to actually drink it fresh, cold, and then as it kind of opens up, you're kind of getting the rest of the flavors like throughout.
Yeah. I think that's, and it does sort of start to just show up on the back of your palate like
Yeah.
that, which again is the risk because sometimes it wouldn't, if there's too much stuff, if it's a kitchen sink beer, it's like, what we
Just a hot burn or yeah.
like almost every homebrewer's second or third beer was just a kitchen sink. You're like, oh my God. And you throw everything in it. Well, there's nothing left there.
Big nose, turkey
for
day
the
IPA.
back of your,
All right,
yeah.
And just so you know, not all 12 hops are equally. There's not equal
Okay.
amounts.
So
of
yeah,
Smart move. Smart
it's,
move.
It's
Okay.
a very
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
We
So
like
wh-
to-
What
we
are
like-
the 12 hops? Who wants to tell me 12 hops? Who
Chris,
can,
go for
who
it.
can fire them off?
Where's the label?
We need the label. They're on the label.
Chris, go for it.
But we don't have the label because I have it on tap.
It's
Okay, ready?
Very like Citra
HBC.
HBC heavy. I'll say that.
Said those 2 hops.
So wait, okay, then let me ask you this: are there a couple hops that you just threw like a handful of pellets in?
Salt
Oh,
dude.
okay, all
Dude.
right,
100%.
all right.
We salt
I see
bait.
you. I see you.
We
Hey.
had to have salt bait
Hey,
some
like
of those.
yeah, we had to
That
salt.
makes sense.
We had to hot bay everything, dude.
That makes sense. Okay.
Because you got to make it
You
like.
couldn't do equal parts. There's no way.
Hold
Like,
on.
You,
got-
it would be.
You have to make it palatable. You have
Then
to
it
make,
would
still
be
wouldn't be
kitchen.
ready.
It wouldn't even be meatloaf then.
exactly.
Yeah.
You have to make it palatable. Like, I'm not going to throw a bunch of Himalayan sea salt in a beer and be like, oh shit, I forgot my pepper.
I love. Yeah.
You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like
yeah.
it's like no, dude. Like we were making a base.
So then, how many do you think are like a proper portion? Would you say? Right, like a noticeable amount. How many of the 12 are a noticeable amount?
I say
of
4.
quantity. Okay.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
call 4 out.
Nice.
We're you know
You guys should run a contest at the pub.
who's on what? Yeah.
Well, just who
What
can
hops?
guess them. It's
Who's
almost
on
like
first?
it's like a bracket challenge, but
Who's
just
on,
like
who picked out first?
whoever gets the closest to the correctly to the 12 gets gets free beer for
Like to the hop
one day.
additions.
Yeah. Like what the 12 hops are.
What are the percentages?
No. Oh no, that's too hard. Just literally
way too hard.
Well, you guys, unless you have them listed in the tap room,
We don't.
Yeah, just go like, here's a piece of paper or whatever. Guess the 12 hops. At the end of December, whoever's the closest to all 12 gets a gift card. I would like to participate in this. Is what I'm
All
saying.
right.
That's
All
why I'm
right,
saying.
we'll call you.
Anybody that comes into the tap room.
We'll
Tell
call
them
you, dude.
the Brewing Network Challenge.
We're in.
If you can get all 12
in.
hops, just give them a gift card. You don't have to give away the farm. You know, just
Yeah.
buy them a beer. I don't know what.
Yeah,
perfect.
But I would do if I was there with my friends.
Shoot,
I would
mention this
do it, and then
podcast,
I'd
you
go
get 10%
find
off.
somebody. I'd be like, "Listen, me and my friends played this stupid game over there. Could you please tell me how close we are to correct?"
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
What's a good beer?
Thank
It's-
you.
Yeah,
Thank you
this is
very
a
much.
good.
Thank
And so you
And
guys,
to be fair, if I may interject, in front of
course.
my boys,
to be fair,
to be fair,
to be fair, yeah.
No, like I mean, Hazy's have been a thing of staples for the last 5 years, whatever. Mm-hmm. When I was brewing, these guys were like, "Hey, Tommy,
No hazies.
I
No.
quit
No.
I quit
First
brewing.
hazy.
I quit brewing professionally back in like 2016, 17. I had other endeavors until
Teaching.
this a-hole's like, "Hey, dude, I finally did it." I'm like, "Did what?" He's like, "Me and Chris are opening a brewery." I was like, "Well, good for you, dude."
We did this story in the first segment.
I'm busy
Yeah, sorry.
teaching.
But I was like, "Do you know how to make hazies?" I'm like, "Nope." I know how to make lagers and like West Coast IPAs and like
So
porters. and,
hazies
like,
are hard to make. That's a learning curve right there.
We have talked about this. It's such a unique balance of sweetness, pH,
Yeah.
turbidity, and for us, the three of us, we have been, and mostly him, has been more of the. I don't want to say judge, but like Chris can't smell.
It's got no smell.
Yeah.
Dewey Cox can't smell.
But my favorite palate to this day, and judging any beer I've ever made,
It's
I love
still
you,
Chris.
Nick, is Chris.
I don't care.
and you like? And are you a hazy fan, Chris?
Yes. Well,
Used to be.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
Not so much anymore.
Now
But
you're a
he
little
al-
more West Coast.
but here's the thing:
Well,
he,
it's
what's
he has,
happening across the board.
He
by the
has
way.
a fantastic palate,
Right.
with hazy beers because he can't smell. So like whenever, and Nick can attest to this too. Like I'm like, all right, cool. Nick's like, yo, this is dope. Like it's good. It'll work. This guy's like,
But there's like a great hazy. Like
I'm like, what? What
Brew Host
happened?
Brewing. Have you heard of Brew Host Brewing?
Brew host.
Brew Host. Sam.
our buddy,
No.
Great
Dude,
Ocean,
he's,
now
just-
Brew Host.
Okay.
Just moved over to
Living House.
Living House.
Okay.
Brewing in Portland.
Okay.
You will
Some of the
if
best
you haven't
hazy
you
IPAs you'll ever have in your entire life.
Okay.
you've heard of Brew
This
Host.
guy's crushing hazies.
I'm not a hazy hater. Some of my team here at the Brewing Network and the Hop Grenade, they are. They're not my preference. Always. I mean, I'll go for a clear beer first every time.
always.
But I don't. If someone hands me a hazy beer, I'm going to drink
Yeah.
it. And you know what? I don't know. 60. I'm like wavering between 50 and 60% of the time. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
This is one of the times I'm happy with it. This is a good hazy beer.
Yeah.
So
This is on Nick.
but I do think that it's changing back to clear beer.
Yes.
Right? Like even you just said, "Oh, I
were
used
just
to
talking
be,"
about that.
and now you're kind of a little more West Coast. So
100%.
We were just talking about that.
I think
and
West
it's
Coast
just like
IPAs
palate fatigue a little bit
Yeah,
you get.
yep.
Same reason that lagers,
your
I think,
gut,
are
too, kinda.
and your gut. Yeah.
Sure.
Especially as I don't know if you guys are there yet, but as we get older, the gut also changes, and you're like, shit, I almost just need like a cocktail real
lager.
quick, even to get away
Yeah.
from beer for a
yeah.
second.
Maybe like a glass of water.
Yeah.
If I'm at
never
Nick's
heard
house on a Saturday night, I'm getting whiskey gingers and a glass of water. That's it.
So, you guys want to play a little game with me?
Sure.
I just threw it to. It's not even a game. It's just I came across this article today. You guys seem like it'd be fun to do, mostly because you're a beer nerd. And then you've already thrown out some beer terms over there, Tommy. So I found this article on Punch. It's punchdrink.com. We'll give them credit for it, punchdrink.com. And it was about like modern beer terms. And a bunch of them like would be too simple, like dank and just like describe, which is cool. Like I'm sure that's who this article is for. But I found some that would be fun. So this is a bunch of words that are used in packaging. And I'm going to say the word and see if you guys know what it is. It's all like formats.
Like,
Hold on, wait.
Like a bomber.
What
This
it-
one's easy.
what it
Everybody
means?
knows.
Jay,
What's a
Jay,
bomber?
if I get this wrong, can you,
22-ounce bottle.
Thank you. So it's things like
Jay,
that.
Jay, but if I get it wrong, can you cut it out?
No, absolutely not. I actually will emphasize it.
And you're fired.
You realize that
No, but some of them aren't like craft beer.
You realize I
brewer
work
terms,
with my
so.
brothers, right? Like I can't.
Like yeah,
I'm
I'll
gonna
get
be
the
fired,
the
right?
couple of warm ups. Like a long neck.
Yeah.
Coors Light.
Like a Bud Light bottle.
It's just a
With
12-ounce bottle with a long.
bottle.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. How about
If I don't say anything, I'm still in the right?
Yeah.
here's a couple tough ones. I think. What about a stovepipe?
That's a heater.
What's a stovepipe?
A hat. Abraham Lincoln.
I didn't know this one either, and especially because it's a newer format. Stovepipe
Is that the 19.2?
Bam! There we go.
Oh, that's right.
I was gonna say the
That's
big,
the 19.
I was gonna say the big
Nick,
can.
no, there's the Colt 45s
right.
that we're talking about.
No.
Pulled it out right there. No,
yeah,
that's like the new tall
tall
craft
can.
can.
Yeah,
So,
they're 19.2s, right?
21st Amendment does a lot of 19.2s.
Yeah.
because
There you
it's
go.
kind of
Glory,
like
our boys.
yeah.
Glory does a bunch. Of
it
them,
might.
too.
I don't
New
know if
Glories?
it's like the next format, but people are starting to like it.
Brass Monkeys.
All right, here's what I think should be an easy one. What about a stubby? What's
12
a,
ounce.
12 ounce, but what? Like name the brand that uses a stubby most. It's not listed here, but I like. It is a 12 ounce. It's a glass bottle.
Mickey's?
A beer brand.
That's a grenade.
That's a grenade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
brand?
Yeah. That like I think is iconic for the stubby.
Coors.
No, it's not Coors.
I don't know.
You want a vacation there? I'll tell you that. Where it's made.
Red Stripe, baby.
It's the Red
Red
Stripe. That's the stubby.
But doesn't Coors have that too?
No, Coors
The little
doesn't.
bomber bottles.
Yeah,
with
the little
Do they?
twisties.
Yeah.
That's
Well, they might have. Here's one.
Banquet, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a pony?
Pony cake.
No, it's not a keg. It's still a personal package. And I wonder if this is what you're thinking of. I've never seen one. Apparently, a pony is a 7-ounce glass bottle used by macro brewers,
Like
I don't know.
according to porchdrink.com. Oh, yeah, like those mini
little
Corona,
Corona
bottles.
bottles?
Maybe it's that.
Coronitas.
It's gotta be.
Yeah.
It's gotta
I
be.
have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay. What else is in here? Oh, okay. Here's another one. This one's supposed to be new. What about a nip?
That's not appropriate.
An MIP? It cannot be, but it is.
I heard of a nip slip.
It's AKA a shorty. According to porchdrink.com, it's an 8-ounce can that they say is a growing trend.
Like a seltzer thing.
Has anyone seen an 8-ounce can?
No, seltzers maybe.
Maybe.
8-ounce can.
All right. What about? Now we're gonna go pouring, like this is either a glass or the tap that it comes out of.
Okay.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Do you know what a stange is?
Yes, for Kolsch.
There you go. All right, one for Tommy. Do you know what a Willie Becker is?
Oh man.
Oh, Willie Becker's a good
The
man.
old
You
Willie
should know the Willie
Yeah, I
Beckers.
think he was best friends with my grandpa.
Yeah,
They used to go ice fishing together.
definitely did. And then they invented the Willie Becker.
Yeah.
Which the way you're describing it is like a elk skin pouch.
Drinking out of a horn.
The old Willie Becker.
Right. the Willie Becker is like that kind of American Pilsner glass.
Oh my God.
It's like not a big old tall one like the Germans use, but it's almost the same shape.
Okay.
And it's not made out of deer or anything. So
Goddamn Willie Becker.
all right, there's no more good ones in that. There's a couple in techniques, but I think you guys know that. HDHC, it's a technique. What's This one threw
what
me
you
like a
smoke?
couple weeks ago. It's a brewing technique, and it's often now I got stumped on it. It's listed in the beer description. So similar to like DDH.
Yes. It's God, it was just on a beer I had. It was
Is
on a
it
beer
like
label.
a hopping technique?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's hop.
Yes,
The
It
Is it
stands
like
for
the-
something. It's an acronym.
it is an acronym.
Yeah.
That's right.
Fuck me.
Similar to DDH.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't know what the difference is, but I'm sure some brewer
Can you
tell
can you
me.
repeat the actual?
I'm gonna.
HDHC.
It's a multiple dry hop technique.
Kinda.
I forget. How
about we start with the last
I learned this like
two?
a month ago, and I already forgot it.
So it's HD, and the last two are HC. The last two are Hop Charge.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
High
Yep.
density.
There he
high
goes.
density hop charge.
The high
charge.
density
Yeah.
hop charge.
Yeah, we talked
You and
about
I
that.
Yes.
So I just learned this
Chris and I are like,
probably a
I
month
don't know.
ago, but I saw it in a beer description.
Yeah.
So stupid right now.
But what's the difference between HDHC and DDH?
I think it's a
right?
bigger. It's a bigger.
It's even
volume
more
of
than
hop.
DDH.
So if you're looking at density as
Yeah.
far as like you got to consider molecular weight. All
Well, according to
Shut up, Tom.
according to Punch Drink, it's a term that was coined by Brooklyn's Other Half Brewing to describe a method of maximizing hop character with various products like Incognito and Cryo.
There you go.
Actually, yeah, other half's been
We-
doing
we do,
those beers for a while.
is there an all the above?
You do? Yeah. All right, here's the one I really wanted to get to. Now, these are all beer culture terms. So let's see if we can figure out what they...
This should be you, man.
Don't
The
point
beer
at me.
culture.
Yeah, this is
Chris.
Chris.
Stop.
Hot spot. Hot seat.
Does anybody know what a boss pour is?
Boss pour is all the way to the top.
That is what it is. Yeah, it is. It's leaving no room for head
Yeah, no
at
head.
all. That's
No head, no glass.
You didn't even breathe, dude.
Oh my God. Chris loves him a boss pour.
I've had some.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
All right, we all should know this. What's a drain pour?
Drain pour is when it's gross.
It's so bad you got to
Shitty
dump it out, right?
Okay, so Chris is gonna
Tommy's
answer.
beers.
Okay, there's that too.
Actually, luckily, we have not had a lot of those.
We had
Thank
2,
God.
3.
What is a kill shot?
Kill shots
You
when
should
you have
know
the
this.
cans lined up when they're all empty.
Christopher Shipley, how do you know this?
These for the culture, man.
Gone through
Because
all
he was
these.
getting a
Christopher Shipley,
box
how
of
do you know
beer
this?
delivered a week. Of
This
course.
is where I started.
Chris,
His
how do you
Instagram
know
is
this,
full
dude?
of, if you go back 2 years
Nick, do you
before
know
the
this?
brewery, his
I knew that
Instagram's full of kill
You knew that
shots.
one?
17,
I don't know that one.
2017, 18. This is
I
all
don't
it
know that
was.
shit.
It's all
This
kill
was my
shots.
shit brews right there.
Shit,
That's all it
bro.
was.
I don't know this. This is
Okay,
amazing.
we're gonna. So far, you're perfect game on this
he's
category.
10 for 10.
So we're gonna stay with Chris. No one gets to
Yeah.
chime in now. We're
Yeah,
staying.
yeah,
here.
No, me and Nick are, we're out, dude.
This I'll throw you a softball. What's
Don't say
a
cuvee.
what's a mule?
A mule is where you're.
That's Chris.
You're grabbing. I was a mule.
Yeah.
For certain breweries, yeah, it's where you're a home brewery where you send it out
name
to the
is
guys that can't
Christopher.
get it.
Yeah, you're the one capturing the haul, right? Yeah.
I was a mule.
What is line life?
That's when you're in the line waiting for a bottle release
Holy
or
cow!
can.
How do you know this, dude?
Before I was a Moxa member, I lived the Moxa
Line
line
life.
life.
You
Yeah.
did live the line life.
Nick,
Nick, is it the first you've heard of this, dude?
Yeah, I didn't know.
I did not know this.
I gotta admit, some of these terms I have not heard.
So
Got you.
this is amazing.
Okay. I'm gonna be impressed if you know this one, especially because you participated in it. What's a porch bomb?
Porch bombs when you have a
Oh, he knows
package
exactly what that is.
from someone else. It's usually USPS. And it gets mailed to your porch
Yeah.
from a different
Oh my God.
from a different county or
Dude, this guy was a traitor, man.
state.
I didn't know there was a trader lingo though.
Oh, dude,
bombs,
That's
dude.
a full-on
I
porch
used to
bomb.
get 7 bombs a week.
Dude, I didn't know he was doing training beers until like one day I was in SoCal and I was like, oh yeah, I'm sending these electric beers to like my buddy in Yuba City. I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, he's like, oh yeah, his name's Chris. I'm like,
Oh, I know that guy.
I was like, wait, I know a Chris in Yuba City. He's like my brother-in-law. He's like, nah, you don't. I was like,
Okay.
are you sure?
I got
All right, I have one more for you, and if you get it, you will have pitched a perfect game.
Let's
You
go.
will- You're gonna have mad bummed us right now, Madison Bumgarner, right now.
Fuck Mad Bum.
What
Hey.
is a ticker?
Oh, it's when you tick something off your list, right?
Yeah,
list?
I'll give you that. You can
know-
elaborate a little more.
You have like a bucket list type stuff, and you like get something off your list where you like drank it or had it,
Yeah.
or visited it.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna judges.
I'll judge.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here's it. He's right, but someone more interested in the endless pursuit of new hyped beer over simply drinking what they like
Okay.
is a ticker. Do we think he's close enough for the perfect game? This is that pitch that's just on the bottom corner.
No hitter, but not a perfect game.
Okay, so we're giving him half a point on that. All right, round of applause
Someone made
right
an
now
error.
for Chris.
The second baseman made an error, and then got the next guy out.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Dude, you nailed it though. That's your category.
Well,
right
he's a
there.
professional. He was a professional baseball player.
That's so
Starting
funny.
on the bottom.
When I was reading this list, I was like, I don't know what's up with these kids these days. I didn't know it was a language, but here you are, and you're like, oh no, hell yeah, that's a porch bump. I think that's my favorite one.
You got there's all kinds of lingo.
Wow.
Lingo forever.
All right, I might have to help you. I might have you help me develop a new Brewing Network game.
Yeah, you want to get some
with
trades
these,
going on?
with
What do you want? Let's get it.
I got a channel.
What state are you
I got a channel.
What brewery?
So good. All right, gentlemen, that's about. Oh no, I was gonna cut us off, but shit, I didn't bring in enough glasses for the smoke saison.
It's all good. We could do it post-show.
We'll do a post show, and then you guys come on next time. We'll talk more beer. Is that all right with you guys?
Perfect.
We're up against the time anyway, so
love it.
I did want to get to
good.
that. We'll do a post show. Maybe we can share it with my staff then too.
Honestly,
Please
thank you
do.
so much for having us on.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you for being here, guys.
It means a lot. So I mean, we see the pictures of Brindleson and Vinny on here, and we
Here,
can't believe
Tasty and
we're part of the same
yeah, yeah.
podcast. So
you know
it
what?
means
And
a ton to us.
You did a great job. It's a fun show.
Tell Vinny I said hashtag hashtag desert life.
Yeah.
Hashtag Temecula, dude.
Also, real quick, I need to let you know about a new partner of ours, Not Rocket Science Trivia. Go to notrocketsciencetrivia.com. They're focused on breweries and beer bars like us. It's a trivia night. You guys do a trivia night.
We do it.
We do a trivia night here. According to studies, sales revenue increased by like 300% on trivia nights compared to normal weekday nights. So Not Rocket Science Trivia's games are made for everyone to enjoy. You don't have to be a genius to win. Their games are live and in person. They provide the host, game, sound system, paper, and marketing. There's really no work for anybody at the tap room or the brewery or the bar. So you can just like let them come in and do it. Go to notrocketsciencetrivia.com. There's no money that you have to put up front. There's no upfront financial risk. You can check it out. There's no contracts. Go to notrocketsciencetrivia.com. Click on the Hire Us tab. And when you get there and you're going to sign up, let them know you heard about them on the Brewing Network when they ask you, how did you hear about us? So it sounds like a cool thing. They're going nationwide right now, and I know a ton of breweries who are starting to do trivia. I know breweries who it's their busiest night of the week.
We're one of them.
When they do. Is that right? Yeah. People love trivia. Go to notrocketsciencetrivia.com, and when you get to the How Did You Hear About Us tab, tell them it was on the Brewing Network. All right, boys. Thank you again for being here.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much, man. Appreciate
Go
it.
to, what's the website? Give it to me real quick.
MovementBrewingCo.com.
That's right. And you can visit them in Rancho Cordova. You get the address on the website. Sounds like there's a party almost every night of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to come check it out. I got to come hang out with you guys.
Please do.
Will my RV fit in the parking lot so I can
Absolutely.
actually party and then just sleep
100%.
there?
100%.
It's been done.
You got a big old.
It's
okay.
been done.
All right, I love it. That's my MO right there. All right, folks. We'll be back next week with Oakland United Brewing Company out of Oakland, obviously, and hanging out with them, and lots more to come here on the Brewing Network. Thanks to our sponsors, Williams Brewing Company, More Beer, the 21st Amendment, Beersmith. Go get the Beersmith brewing software at beersmith.com. You get a free 21-day trial, so you never have to take my word for it. I know a bunch of pro brewers who use it too. Great people over there. And, of course, they're our sponsors, so they deserve your support. Thanks for listening, everybody. Take care of yourselves and your beer.